You! Oh. Marc Antony, do you not prefer that day when the Senate was assembled in the Temple of Tullus to all these months during which some who differ greatly in opinion from me think you have been oh so happy? I mean, what a noble speech was that of yours about mercy on that day. And from what apprehension were the veterans, and from what anxiety was the whole state relieved by you on that occasion when, having laid aside your enmity against him, you, on that day, first consented that your present colleague, Dolabella, should be your colleague. On what day was the Senate more joyful than on that day? Or when were the Roman people more delighted, which had never met in greater numbers in any assembly whatsoever? Because then, at last, we did appear to have been really delivered by brave men. Because as they had willed it to be, peace was following liberty. Because on the next day, on the day after that, on the third day, and on all following days, you went on without intermission, giving every day, as it were, some fresh present to the Republic. But the greatest of all presents was that you abolished the name of dictatorship. This was in effect branding the dead Caesar with everlasting shame. And it was your doing. Yours, I say. But when you had done these mighty deeds and exploits for the safety of the Republic, did you repent of your fortune? Or of the dignity and renown and glory which you had acquired? Whence then is this sudden change? Because I cannot be induced to suspect that you have been caught by the desire of acquiring money. I mean, everyone may say what he pleases, but we are not bound to believe such a thing, for I never saw anything sordid or anything mean in you, although a man's intimate friends do sometimes corrupt his natural disposition. Still, I know your firmness, and I only wish that as you avoid that fault, you had been able to avoid all suspicion of it. What I am more afraid of is lest, being ignorant of the true path to glory, you should think it glorious for you to have more power by yourself than all of the rest of the people put together. And lest you should prefer being feared by your fellow citizens to being loved by them. And if you do think so, you are ignorant of the road to glory. For a citizen to be dear to his fellow citizens, to deserve well of the Republic, to be praised, to be respected, to be loved, is glorious, but to be feared and to be an object of hatred is odious, detestable, and moreover pregnant with weakness and decay. It is a mischievous principle to act upon. And I wish, O Antonius, that you could recollect your grandfather, of whom, however, you have repeatedly heard me speak, and I should prefer that most bitter day of his death to the domination of Cinna, the man by whom he was barbarously slain. Why should I seek to make an impression on you by my speech. For if the end of Gaius Caesar cannot influence you to prefer being loved to being feared, no speech of anyone will do any good or have any influence on you. And those who think him happy are themselves miserable. No one is happy who lives on such terms that he may be put to death, not merely with impunity, but even to the great glory of his murderer. Wherefore change your mind, I entreat you, and look back upon your ancestors, and govern the Republic in such a way that your fellow citizens may rejoice that you were born, without which no one can be happy.